Be prepared for Axe, guys. Today I have a battle against Jaheim Johnson Twitch. You guys all know him, and this is a pretty good battle, and he is using quite a different set. It is an OU team, but it's got a couple of other things mixed in there, and this was a fun match. He's actually using the Executor, the Hayden Executor strategy, which I thought was very funny, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later on. But he's going to go ahead and lead off with the Rotom. Not exactly what I wanted him to lead off with, as I did end up leading off with Talonflame. He has so many choices of things to lead off with, and he leads off with the Rotom. Now, I kind of thought, he might lead off with the Rotom, but then again, I was like, maybe he won't. So I go ahead and switch out to my Latios. He goes for the Hydro Pump, which is good because Latios does resist that, and I don't take too much damage from it. Only about 25%, which is always great. And I go ahead and go for Draco Meteor, but of course I miss, and he gets a Will-O-Wisp off. And now, this is not the smartest decision by him, but it ended up working out in this situation. But I would definitely not recommend staying in on a Latios. I could have easily just OHKO'd that Rotom with a Draco Meteor had I hit it, and I'm really upset that I did miss. But he's going to go ahead and switch out to his Excadrill here, get that Mold Breaker up. Of course, I do have to be careful so that I don't get Earthquake. But, you know, he did switch, and I'm still trying to kill that Rotom, so I did go for Draco Meteor. And then Excadrill takes quite a bit of damage from it, actually. A little over 50%, maybe 55% from that. And that is a good percentage to get off on that Excadrill. I am going to be taking some burn damage at the end of that turn, but of course I'm going to be switching out because I do not know what this Excadrill wants to do, and I definitely do not want to lose my Latios just yet. So I'm going to switch out to my Zapdos. He ends up going for the Stealth Rock, which is fine with me. My Zapdos already came in, so I don't have to take Stealth Rock's damage, and then I can just go for a Defog and go ahead and get rid of them right now. Anyway, but he's going to go ahead and switch back out into the Rotom again. One of the most annoying Pokemon in the meta still around. I think my top 3 most annoying Pokemon in OU are definitely Rotom, Heatran, and Ferrothorn. Those are probably the 3 most annoying Pokemon that I ever have to deal with. But I'm going to go ahead and switch back out in my Latios again. It's going to hit me with a Hydro Pump. He's going to do a little bit more, you know, another 25%, and then I'm going to take some burn damage after switching in. So I'm only left with 10 HP. Not a whole lot, but he's going to go ahead and switch back out. And he's going to go out into his Excadrill once again. And of course, this is going to be an easy Draco Meteor kill on this Excadrill here. Thankfully, it is a 2-hit KO, which is really good. Because if it wasn't, I'd have to deal with this Excadrill, and I'd still have to deal with Stealth Rocks. And that's not something that I want to be dealing with today. Absolutely not. But the Excadrill is dead, fainted, out of here, gone. And, you know, my Latios is also gone because of that burn damage from that Rotom. So that is a little unfortunate that I did have to end up losing my Latios. But it gives me ample opportunity to go ahead and go out into my Talonflame, which is always bueno. And, of course, you know, we're back to the start again. He ended up, we both died that turn. So he doesn't get to, you know, capitalize off of what I switch in. It's both random. We don't know what each other is sending out. And, of course, he goes out into the Rotom. But I am actually going to go ahead and go out into my Azumarill. You know, I figured that he might want to go for Hydro Pump, and he goes for Will-O-Wisp or Volt Switch. My Azumarill can take that. Obviously, Will-O-Wisp is something that I do not want to be taking on my Azumarill because I do like to have an attack stat. You know, that is something that I do like to have. But unfortunately, it's just not working out for me today. But I do get the knockoff off, and that Rotom does not have any leftovers anymore, which is always bueno. He's going to go ahead and go for a Volt Switch here. Actually gets a critical hit, which is really unfortunate. I am an Assault Vest Azumarill, so taking unneeded damage is definitely not something that I want to be doing. But he ends up going out and hit him on top. I actually almost clicked Play Rough as he made that switch. But I thought, you know, he might switch, so I might as well go for knockoff. But I did manage to get rid of that Life Orb. And again, Azumarill dying. You know, I'm losing another Pokemon to burn damage on a turn. And it's really unfortunate now that I'm thinking about it. But I'm going to go ahead and go out in my Politoed, my 7.8 mate, courtesy of Petra Wiesem. I still do remember Petra, but he hasn't actually been playing Pokemon a whole lot lately. Been speaking with him, but I'm trying to get him back into the game because it's such a great game. But he goes for the Fake Out, gets some damage off on me, goes for a Thief to get that item back, which is, I don't know why you're running Thief on that thing if you're, you know, having a Life Orb, but I guess if it's to, you know, be your knockoff catcher, I suppose that is okay. But end up going for the Toxic because I don't know what kind of Hitmontop this is. And then on this next turn, I will be going for a Hydro Pump. He is going to go ahead and hit me with a Mach Punch, just trying to take me out. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that Life Orb anymore, so he's not really doing too much. Go for the Hydro Pump. End up taking this Hitmontop out on a date. This thing is gone, which is really, really nice because I don't have to deal with that thing anymore. Ends up going out into the Ninjask now. And Ninjask can be a very scary Pokemon if it's an offensive Ninjask, but most of the time they're the Baton Pass set, so I don't really have to worry too much about that. He ends up going for a Protect on the first turn to go ahead and get a Speed Boost up, and then goes for another Protect, trying to get the double Protect on me, but that is not happening today, Junior. Not happening today, so I hit him with the Scald. He does have a Focus Sash intact. It is now broken, however, but he gets that second Speed Boost off, so I do have to be careful, because if he Baton Passes, which he is, I do have to be careful because something is going to be at +2 speed, and that is not something that I definitely, want to be dealing with. And he ends up going out into the Executor, and this is what I'm talking about, the Hayden Executor set strategy. You Baton Pass some speed to the thing, and then that thing gets scary. I go for a Scald. Unfortunately, do not get the burn. That would have been a nice little additive there. Goes for a Giga Drain just to finish me off and get a little health back at the same time. So this Executor is at +2 speed. Something that I do have to be careful about, because an Executor is an Executor and it's very fast. And yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and out my Caesar. Caesar is probably the best Pokemon to send out against this thing. Even if he had HP Fire at this point with the rain up, he's not actually going to be able to take me out. Now, had he had a special attack boost or something, which he will be getting here in a little bit, that I'd be scared. Ends up hitting the Sleep Powder, which is okay, I suppose. I was going for Bug Bite, which would have been 4 times super effective, which would have easily taken that Executor out. But unfortunately, my Caesar decided to take a nap out on the field. He's going to go ahead and get a substitute up, trying to get down to that Pitaya Berry so that he can get a special attack boost. And, I'm still just taking a nap over here, just still sleeping, which is really unfortunate. The quicker that I can kill this thing, obviously, the better. He's going to go ahead and go for a Psychic. And here's what I was thinking, that this was funny. He's trying to set up on me, and he can't really touch Caesar at all. Psychic is really the only option that he has at this point to really try and do any damage to me. Now, he can get a special defense drop with Psychic, I believe, so I do have to be careful. I do get the Bug Bite off here, and that is definitely going to be breaking that sub. I mean, 4 times effective. It's not going to... This Executor is not going to be living long. I go for a Bullet Punch on the whim that I can try and kill this thing. Of course, he is going to be getting the Pitaya Berry boost on that special attack. Unfortunately, he misplays, goes for a substitute, not thinking that I would go for the Bullet Punch, and this Executor is actually killed right here, right then. So that is perfect because I don't have to deal with that thing anymore. Goes out into the Ninjask. Of course, I do have Bullet Punch, I do have priority, so regardless of how fast this Ninjask is, he will not be outspeeding a Bullet Punch anytime soon. Now he's going to go out into the Rotom. And again, I was very confused why this Rotom went for Taunt. He obviously did not want me going for Roost, I would assume, or maybe thought that I would switch. But this actually ended up being the Zoroark on his team. He does have a Focus Ash here, and I was honestly very, very surprised that this was a Zoroark. Very, very surprised. Gonna go ahead and go for a Bullet Punch here. Zoroark is definitely going to be dying. He only has 1 HP, and, obviously you can't do less than 1 HP, at least in the Pokemon game. So unfortunately for him, that is going to be happening. Goes for Pain Split. I don't know if he was predicting a switch or if he, I don't know what's really happening here. But just go for a Bug Bite. So Rotom is almost dead. My Taunt wears off, which is fantastic. I can go for Roost now. But I'm just going to go ahead and finish this thing off with a Bullet Punch, and that is going to be a good game. Good game, Johnson. It's always a pleasure battling you, friend, and I know you have a lot of fun at the streams, and I do appreciate, you always coming to the streams, because it always is, it's nice to see familiar people and regulars that come. It always is nice. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you smack the shit out of that like button. Definitely helps me out. If you guys enjoyed this Wi-Fi battle and you're new, definitely click that subscribe button, because there are more Wi-Fi battles to come in the future. And this team is very reminiscent of, some old teams that I used to run back in X and Y. Very, very similar. Caesar, Azumarill, Politoed, Zapdos back in X and Y would have been a Thundurus. Talonflame would actually have been an Infernape. And instead of a Latios, I think it would have been running a Politoed. But, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys back again on Wednesday. We might see you tomorrow with a special video, but I'm still kind of working on it, so it may not happen just yet. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, may the hacks be with you guys.